been with Princess Violet. But Princess Violet will throw it in the fire if she gets one.
Because she's a bitch.
She's a mean little bitch. And so Giller's like, all right, well, where do you sleep at night? And she's like, well, either I get a box that I get locked into, which is super cozy, or I get kicked outside. But that's not so bad, because I get to sleep in a wayward pine.
Okay, so 2 things. First thing, Princess's Plaything or not, probably shouldn't be giving out all this information. Like, hey, child. I feel like Giller's a good guy, and I don't feel like any of this was, weird per se, but he's asking her some pretty pointed questions that I would guarantee you, if you as a parent found out another adult had asked your child, you'd be like, what now? And, for her being a little girl, don't tell a strange man where you go to sleep at night.
Yeah, I had that thought too, because, you don't know what immediately she thought he was going to be, like, a bad guy and mean, and then within, 2 seconds, he's like, oh, Hugs, you have a pretty name. And she's like, okay, sold.
Where do you sleep?
But she's also a little girl who doesn't get love. So
that's very true. She's getting some, I don't want to say affection, but yeah, she's getting some human fucking kindness for once. And she's leaning into that. And I don't by any means think Giller is a shitty dude. I think he is just trying to cheer up a little girl who has a really rough life.
To be fair, what we knew of Giller before this chapter was that he was a shitty dude.
Yeah, the last time we heard about Giller, Kaylin was telling Zed that her wizard isn't with her because he decided to sell his services to some fucking queen.
Yeah.
Which is a very bad thing to do in the wizard community. That's, shameful. It's traitor.
Yeah,
he's a traitor.
Yeah. Not only did he, abandon his duties to the confessors, because that's, serious business, but he also sold his services. So not only was Kaylin I'm gonna fuck him up, but Zed's like, you should.
I'm gonna fuck him up.
Yeah, I'll help you.
So it's funny because he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
Technically.
Yeah, that's what we all expected, I think, going into meeting him, was that he was going to be this evil fucking bastard. So far, not so much.
No, he seems like a good guy. He seems like the kind of guy you could sit down and have a beer with.
Oh, I would like to sit down and have a beer with him.
I'd like to sit down and have a beer with you.
Is it time for the beer break?
You can't possibly be that surprised about it, Jay.
I'm excited.
Excited is good. That's what I like about you. Very enthusiastic.
Is that what you like about me?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. That's what I appreciate about you. Obviously, if you watch Letterkenny, you understand where we're coming from. All right. Well, tonight we are drinking Spinal Tapper from Right Brain Brewery, Traverse City. Love that place. It's a double India Pale Ale, so definitely not our typical beer. The bottle says you can feel it in your bones. Spinal Tapper IPA explodes with tropical fruit aroma, followed by a flavor punch of pear, green apple from huge doses of Calypso and Amarillo hops. The bottle says you can feel it in your bones. Spinal Tapper IPA explodes with the tropical fruit aroma, followed by a flavor punch of pear and green apple from huge doses of Calypso and Amarillo hops. A large malt bill, including a blend of American and Canadian two-row, not sure what that is, provides a strong backbone to balance out this big IPA. Get ready for an IPA sensory overload. It's 55 IBUs. So it's definitely going to be bitter. Drink as fresh as possible. And I don't know if you noticed this, Jade, but this beer is actually individually marked.
Oh, okay.
So you can actually call up there and be like, hey, beer number whatever was bunky. And they're able to see where you bought it and like.
That brewery is cool. I like that place.
Yeah, we were up there, like we had said before, a couple of years ago in Traverse City, and rode the motorcycle up there. It was beautiful. We had a fantastic time and had tons of shit to buy in that area. It's almost like a lounge. There's a bar on one end, and then they just have tables and couches and games and
art.
Tons of shit to do. Art, yeah. Something to look at in every corner of that building. Yeah, so really recommend anything from Right Brain, really. But we haven't tried this, so we're going to give it a shot real quick.
Yeah, I think I had a feeling it might not be my favorite because it is, like he said, an IPA, a double IPA. Yep, that's an IPA.
What do you think?
I think it's a fruitier IPA, maybe, but it is bitter.
Oh, yeah, very bitter. You can taste the fruit. It's not overwhelming by any means, but I like this. I could sit down with it sounds terrible. I could sit down with a case of these and no, this would be a good summer beer.
Yeah.
This would be a good river beer.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that.
I like things with green apple in them too. So like, that's good. That's good.
Definitely good. Dig it. If you guys find some of this out by you, you should definitely give it a try. We are going to enjoy the rest of this and take a quick break, and we'll be back right after this.
And we're back. So after Giller figures out where Rachel prefers to sleep and where he can kind of get her the doll, he tells her he's going to leave the doll and a fire stick in an urn in the garden so she can grab one on her way out to the Wayward Pine the next time that she goes.
Yeah, he's got to be taking a risk here. If anybody found out he was doing this, I'm sure he would be in just as much trouble as Rachel.
Yeah.
But, and like, I don't have an answer to this. I don't think there is an answer to this, but urn in a garden? Like in public?
I'm assuming there's no ashes in the urn. I think it's just like the container that an urn is, you know what I mean? Like a big pot.
Just like for decoration then.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
urn.
fine. I thought about that and I was like, why would there be an urn? Okay, whatever. Maybe it's a...
Reach your hand in and grab your doll out of the dead people. It's fine.
Weird choice for decorations. Why did you do coffins in the bathroom? So Rachel heads to the kitchens to scold the cooks. And while she's in there, people are going this way, that way, skirting past each other, hollering. It's hot. It's loud. It's a fucking kitchen.
Yeah.
I worked in fast food for a little while. It's fucking hectic sometimes. You don't want to get in people's way. And when it goes wrong, it goes really, really wrong. And while she's in there, somebody drops a crock, which I just learned today. It's a crock pot. It's what it is. But it's like old school.
Yeah, I think of it like a clay cauldron, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. You would obviously put it above a fire to keep it heated, but it's very large, serves a lot of people. You know, it's not a tiny little, it's a crock pot.
Yeah.
So they break it, and that's when it points out Rachel, she doesn't have shoes on. So
No.
the scalding hot liquid, and she's like tiptoeing through it like, oh my God, trying not to get burned because she doesn't have shoes. And in this part was fucking funny. They freak out because they're like, oh my God, we just spilled the stuff from Dark and Raw. We don't have any more. And the head cook, I'm assuming, is like, okay, go get me these items. Anything brown, pretty much, because we need to match the color. And so he just starts throwing shit in there and is like, okay, yeah, that tastes pretty good. We're going to run with that. Just let me do the talking. I'll explain it to Queen Melina so nobody has to die.
Yeah. But it was just weird that he was like, anything brown. It'll be fine. Give me some gravy. It'll be great. That's what my brain immediately went to. You're just going to serve this bitch gravy and be like, yeah, it's totally the same thing.
And a little bit later, we find out that this is a drink.
Yeah.
It's not gravy or like a sauce.
Yeah.
This is something you just drink.
Yeah, I think that's why I was like, you can't just throw brown shit in there and make it work.
Right.
Ah.
It's not going to be mixed with anything. You're just going to drink it straight. How disgusting.
Ugh.
That makes the gravy thing you said double gross, because, no, I'm good.
I know. You're not a gravy person.
So good on that.
Rachel tries to just tell them, hey, Princess Violet doesn't want you to fuck up her meat this time, and she tries to leave, and they're like, hey, don't tell anybody you saw anything. And they snap at her, and Rachel's like, oh, okay, I won't tell them I saw you working. I don't want anyone to get hurt.
Yeah,
Sorry.
obviously, no idea that she just witnessed a ruse.
Mm-hmm. She's so innocent, she had no idea.
Right.
The cook ends up stopping and being like, hey, Rachel, take a chunk of meat, sit down, we'll clean you up and send you on your way. And part of me thinks he was like, oh, shit, I shouldn't be an ass to this little girl. And the other part of me is like, he just realized he couldn't send her off without cleaning her off first.
I think it might be a little more devious than that. This girl's a witness.
He's trying to buy her off.
Yeah. You don't want to rat on the super nice guy who gives you food every time your bitch, quote unquote, owner sends you down here to chew them out. Like, go tell them they suck. Okay. And then you go down there and be like, yeah, she's being a real cunt today. Can I get some of that pie?
Yeah, because she also gets pie.
Right. Yes. I
And
enjoy
cleaned.
pie.
And cleaned. I bet you she hadn't been washed in a while either.
I'm guessing not. If you sleep in a box, you're probably not very well taken care of.
No. So it mentions that it's like the best day ever for her because she's never eaten this well ever.
Yeah, 2 good things happened to her in one day. That's unheard of.
Yeah, she's getting a fucking doll. She ate good. Like, fuck yeah, this is a great Wednesday.
So later that night is the big feast that everybody's preparing for, and Rachel sits behind Princess Violet, and she gets to watch her eat, because what an honor.
Right.
Ugh.
And most nights, though, most nights she hates this, because most nights this is like torture. It's another form of like psychologically fucking with this little girl by being like, you can't eat. You only eat like butts of bread probably, and you're super hungry. You watch me eat and waste food left and right while you just sit over there and starve.
Right. Fucking awful. What's pretty much insult to injury is she's not alone watching these royals eat. There's other people. Queen Melina has another dude that's just watching her eat. So this is a thing they do. And so what my point is that Queen Melina has this little dog. She's a little dog person. I think that's pretty telling in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
She is a royal bitch, and she's got a tiny dog.
Little dog. It's not a nice dog either.
No. Well, why would it be? Ugh. Anyways, she's feeding this dog scraps from the table. Better cuts of meat than Rachel has ever had in her entire life. And Goodkind points out there's juice dripping off of chins, which we've had a little experience with the apple in recent chapters.
I don't want that brought up with Melina, though.
No, absolutely not. But that's the point. There's an excess here.
Yes.
Everybody's getting everything they want, and they're being so gluttonous about it that they have meat juice just dripping out of their mouths because they're just shoving it in their fat faces. And god damn it, that pisses me off so much. But yeah, so this dog is eating better than Rachel and probably getting more of it too.
Right. And this little dog, by the way, whenever it gets set on the ground, like comes and bites her and she can't say shit about it.
Yeah. And I mean, the dog's mean, but you'd still be an asshole to like do anything to the dog.
I mean,
within reason.
Yeah, it gets to a point that if a little dog is like repeatedly biting you, it accidentally fell on its face. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I love dogs. I do. But if they're like coming and attacking you, some people train their dogs to be bitches.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
little
no, I'm
dick
with you.
bags.
I would never hurt a dog, but I would also never suspect that little dog would jump 30 stories out of a window. It was just shocking.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know how its legs got hogtied.
That's so fucked up.